Guten Morgen, you beautiful people. So the family and I are farming today. We've discussed how much land we need to produce all of our own food, and we've been drying some skins to see if we can't tan them and spread them out on the ground and put some salt on them, and then as soon as the rain comes I sort of quickly fill them up, and then when the rain is gone you spread them out again. I'm gonna move them from there to the treehouse I think today, just so that we have a bit more space and they're not stuck to the dampness of the soil. Oslim commented and said the real bad things about those piglets crawling the fence is that they will learn how to do it and lift the fence, keep on lifting the fence once they're bigger. And you know what, you're 100% right. I did not even consider that, but that is definitely 100% true. If you teach them now to crawl fences, you'll never get it out of them, and that will be a generational thing. So I'm really reconsidering my plan of moving those, opening the fence here or keeping the fence open here to feed them creep feed here. Maybe build something in the cage here with the moms, and so they can rather feed here. I think that might be a better idea. Creeping the fences, crawling through the fences is definitely not something you want a pig to do, because a pig only stays in these cages because they believe they can't get out. But once they believe they can get out, then there's not going to be any stopping in them. Pigs are having a good time. This young lady wants to come and see what we have for her. Hello, Mama. My arm isn't long enough to give her the scratches that she wants, and this fence doesn't want to allow that. Hello, Mama. Hello, Mama. Hello, Mama. I must admit, I know you shouldn't treat farm animals like pets, but it's nice that they are becoming so tame that you can scratch them and give them scratches, and they even come closer for scratches. Then somebody else said, can't remember who it was, the pig cages seem damp. Yes, they are way too wet, so we're busy bringing in bedding. And so you see there's a little dry spot there that's got bricks, but we're bringing in a bunch of old bedding and working that in. This is it. See, this grass is rotten to the core. That's why I believe that eventually I will be able to take that whole mountain, because this grass is so ruined. I want to see if I can get some for you in the light. I'm not sure if you can see that on the camera, but it's basically black. So perfect pig food, perfect pig bedding. We use this for the chickens as well. Important to try and keep the pigs as neat as possible. Pigs make a mess, that's what they do. They make a pigsty. It is a constant struggle to try not to be too white trashy about the whole thing. I say to my wife, we have a little bit of white trash in us, but we need to try and control that. Being on the farm, doing some ponderings, editing the videos while I walk, and I stopped here and I realized, I looked up from my phone and I realized where I am. This is just wonderful. Every bed filled with abundance for my family and for my workers. This is just incredible. These things I read about a bit yesterday. So they're called, the family of the kale, African kale sometimes called. Just harvest the bottom leaves, and they taste like cabbages, but they don't make a ball. So these things apparently can grow the height of me, and so tons and tons of food will come from them. We've got a couple of rows of them. Sue B bought some coffees. Our beef will come back this week from the processor, and Sue B bought some coffees for us to do another event at minutes, or just to feed the kids. So might be a big thing, might be a couple of small things, but to feed the children at Minette's house and things like this. This is obviously way more than I can feed my family. This is in Mikon's garden. Mikon and Lisa helped us establish this, and obviously so many other people. These are, I'm not sure if these are chilies or pepperdeers, or green peppers. They are all so closely related that I can't see what they are before they bear fruit. Looks like green peppers. There you go. That is a green pepper. So incredible abundance that we are blessed with. Obviously it took a bit of work, and I've got wonderful people helping me, but basically disease free. We've got a disease now infesting the pumpkins, but it was about time. We've had quite a harvest of the pumpkins, and now all of a sudden we've got this guys coming up here, and this is, as far as I know, unstoppable. I don't think we're gonna get this out of the pumpkin patch soon, but we've had quite a giant pumpkin harvest in any case. So it is incredibly wonderful to have all of this blessings in our life. See, there's the whiteness appearing on the pumpkins. The health of the plants I attribute to the tea, zombie juice as I like to call it, that we've been giving these plants. And Beshi said I should stop doing that, because if something smells bad, then it is bad. I'm glad my wife doesn't follow that principle, otherwise I would have been kicked out of the house a couple of times. Sometimes I smell bad, but I'm really good. But in seriousness, this is what Elaine Ingram teaches. If your compost or your fertilizer or anything doesn't smell earthy and it doesn't smell good, then it is bad. And there is definitely some truth to it. See, the whiteness is also on our flowers, but our flowers are getting old. We've been cutting them relentlessly, putting them in our house, and we can't seem to get a day. They are so bountiful and so incredible. And there is truth to that. If your compost tea smells bad, then it is inorganic, anaerobic. Sorry, for some reason those words get mixed up when I put my English translation on. Anaerobic. Anaerobic means without oxygen. When something grows without oxygen, most of the, I see my hair is still sexy on this side, most of the good stuff dies, and there's some pathogens and some bad stuff that grows in your tea, and you don't want that. Ideally you would like, we should lift these tomatoes off the ground and harvest them. We've got buckets and buckets of tomatoes in the house at the moment. Ideally you want to spread the good stuff in your garden. You don't want to spread anaerobic stuff in your garden. But it's a fantastic way to pull nutrition from weeds. Let me take you to that barrel quickly. Picking a tomato straight from the source is wonderful. Just need a little bit of salt. So this is our worm drum here. Our juice drum here. You can see there's a couple of mosquitoes breeding in there. See all the weeds that's been added in there. There's a little bit of cow manure that's added in there. We've made it actually thinner over the last 2 weeks. We've only added water. We didn't add any new stuff. And you add a liter of that to 20 liters of water, so that you make sure that your plants don't get burned. And I'm gonna try not to capture my hair again until I can go and flatten it out. And then you spread that over the garden, and all of that nutrients then seeps into the soil, and it goes down to the root zone, because now it's wet. So it doesn't, like compost, stay on the top and wait for water to take it down. It's already got water in it, and that takes it down. Good morning, everyone. Mora. People preparing the pig things to get ready. Any guys, and so my theory is the nutrients, the benefit of the nutrients outweighs the negative of the could be pathogens that's in there, could be bad bacteria and things that could make you sick. My theory is as soon as it gets mixed with the tap water, which got some chlorine in it and some other stuff that the municipality adds, so loads of your pathogens die, and then you add it to the root zone of your plants. You try not to add it to the leaves, and you also try not to harvest immediately afterwards. Then it gets exposed to oxygen very quickly, and then in theory the bad things gets overwhelmed by the good things. The anaerobic bacteria gets exposed to aerobic to oxygen, and they die. That's the theory. In practice, I used a lot of the traditions. There's some African traditions where they make the tea. There's strong German traditions where they make the tea. There's hey David the Good, check this guy out. They're chilling like this. Come chicken. And see, there is a big difference between that one and that one. And so there is, it's not like I'm just woke up one day and decided to let me just put the smelly stuff on the garden. I did read about it many moons ago while I was still, just after I got married. I made a drum back then. Almost lost my wife because of it. It was very smelly. But now that the garden is a bit further away from the house, it's a fantastic way to do it. You obviously don't be silly about it, but there's definitely some benefits in getting those nutrients out of your weeds so quickly. I've asked, now completely on a different topic, I've asked Im's neighbors to come and spend some time on the farm so she can see what we do, so we can establish that garden better. I've been wanting to do a system where they grow a lot of the food on one yard and then duplicate that, and I'm constantly thinking of different ways to do that, jumping in and doing that. I'm scared of just forcing something on somebody and then it ends up costing them money or it ends up failing. So this is what's been happening in my ponderings. So throughout our whole area, all the farms around us, this bush called bankrupt bush just sprung up everywhere, and this is obviously now one of the worst places that I'm taking a video from. It doesn't look like this all over the farm, but we're busy removing it. This was our old fence here. All of this woody matter, that was what we used before we had the fence. And thank you Jacob Fischer for climbing the wooden poles for the fence. That will definitely help with the fence on the other side tremendously. Jacob Fischer went on to buy me a coffee page, bought me some wooden poles. But in case, back to this. Initially I thought it could be wild owls, which would have been a fantastic dewormer for the pigs. There's been some studies done on Nguni cattle and what this does for them. So it's not classified yet as a dewormer, but it does help clean the system, and it does help with lots of antioxidants and things like that. It's not a palatable thing, so what we'll do, it's got a bit of an oily skin. It helps with fleas and lice and things like that, so we're gonna cut loads and loads of this, add it to the pig pens, and it's it's not gonna be dinner, that's for sure. And then because it also keeps off so many insects, we're using it as a mulch in the garden. So That is our first hole in the net house. We'll fix that a little bit later today. That's been done by the calf. The calf ran through there this morning. Anyway, so we're using it as a mulch, nice thick mulch. Go through this. See how deep you have to go before you reach the soil. And that will ward off loads and loads of bugs. I hope. Oh, I believe. That is what the AI is telling me. So that's a wonderful thing. It's one of the things that everybody, doesn't matter whether you are as crazy as David the Good and believe in stinky swamp water, or as scientific as Elaine Ingram and doesn't believe in swamp water or zombie juice. Every single gardener tells you mulch, 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 mulch. I have not heard of one single person that says, actually, you know what, mulch is a bad idea. Not one. So whatever you do, mulch. I mean, we have termites. We have serious termites, and we still mulch. And we're, you know, so if I leave you with one message, it would be to start doing whatever you want to do. Plant a tomato if you can, and mulch. Mulch, mulch, and mulch. We never have enough mulch. And that, my friends, that's going to be the end of my story. I will see you tomorrow.